Listen, is having perfectly edited photos for Instagram the biggest issue in the world right now? No. But it would be nice to have your photos edited exactly like you want them to be, right? My name is Sierra and I've been an amateur photographer for about 3 years now, and I love editing from my phone because I can do it from anywhere. This is the first episode of my Pro on the Go series where I will be teaching you how to edit from your phone, as well as how to plan, promote, and post on Instagram for the best results. This series is not just for new photographers though. If you're somebody who just wants to up your Instagram game and have good photos to post, whether you're using them for a business or just for fun, this will be the series for you. Today we're going to be talking about my 5 favorite apps for editing on your phone, and don't forget to stick around to the very end. I'll be mentioning a bonus app that is really great if you have problems with clarity or blurry photos when posted on Instagram. Now let's get started. So the first app I want to talk about is Facetune, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this from other photographers, but when Facetune is used correctly, it can be really helpful in editing your photos. I mostly use Facetune to edit skin and hair, and I can make a separate video on how I use that. But when you are editing through Facetune, just try to remember to not use the sliders all the way up. So for example, if you're going to be smoothing someone's skin out, do not use the smoothing tool with the slider all the way up. Use it about in the middle, or maybe 70-80%, and you'll have a lot better luck with how it's going to come out. So I would recommend just downloading Facetune and playing around with it and seeing what you can do. So the next app I want to recommend is Lightroom. Lightroom is a classic in the photography community, and there's good reason for it. There's a lot of different options on how to edit on Lightroom, so if you want to change the color of your photo, this is the place to go. It's very easy to use on mobile, but there are a lot of features, so you might want to watch a YouTube tutorial if you want to really get the full scope of Lightroom. Lightroom is the first app I use to edit any of my photos. I import all the ones that I want to edit, and then I start going through the different features like exposure, contrast, and just changing the basic colors of the photos until I get it exactly where I want it to be. I would highly recommend downloading Lightroom and just playing around with the different sliders just so you can get an idea of what different terms mean, especially if you're brand new to photography. There are a ton of tutorials on YouTube about Lightroom, so it's definitely the best place to start if you want to learn how to edit. The next app I want to talk about is VSCO. VSCO is a great app to use if you want to learn more about presets or filters and how they can affect the overall color and look of your photos. Presets are a great place to start when you're editing because it'll give you an idea of what kind of photography style you like and what kind of editing you want to continue doing in the future. By playing around with different presets and applying them to your photos and seeing what they do, you'll get a much better idea of what you want your colors to be like going forward when you edit photos and what presets you like and don't like. The fourth app I want to talk about is Snapseed. Now, there's really only 2 features of Snapseed that I typically use, which is the selective tool and the portrait feature, which I will be sharing both of those in a later video. However, the selective feature is super useful. So it's essentially a tool that allows you to select different areas of your photo, and you can change the brightness, contrast, saturation, or structure, which means the detail of that specific area. This can be extremely helpful whether you do portrait photography or landscape photography because it can allow you to brighten certain areas or darken certain areas to create more of a moody look. I typically like to use this to brighten people's faces and to also darken the edges of the photo to make the person stand out the most. The fifth app I want to talk about is Picsart. Now, Picsart is basically like mini Photoshop for your phone, and the best part is that it's free. I like to use the clone stamp feature in Picsart specifically to remove people out of photos if there's people in the background, or to get rid of anything in the photo that maybe I didn't initially see when I was taking it. The clone stamp tool is super useful in Picsart, but there's other really useful tools as well. They actually have a cutout feature, so if you want to cut out a picture of yourself and put it on a different background, you can also use that, and it's really easy and simple to use. I would definitely recommend downloading Picsart and playing around with the different features to see what you can create. Now we're on to the bonus app, the last app, which is Image Size. This app is for all you photographers out there who are posting photos that end up being blurry on Instagram. It can be super frustrating when you take a perfectly clear, crisp photo and you go to post it and it looks blurry. Some of the reason behind that is the dimensions of Instagram's photos. So when you post a photo that is long instead of square, the dimensions actually change. So if you don't adjust the dimensions of your photo beforehand, it will compress the photo. When you're posting a square photo on Instagram, the dimensions are 1080 by 1080 pixels, but when you're posting a longer photo on Instagram, the dimensions are 1080 by 1350. So by using Image Size, you can perfectly set the 1080 by 1350 dimensions, upload your photo and adjust it how you want it to be, and then save it. That way, when you go ahead and post your photo to Instagram, you won't have any of the compression and your photo will show up perfectly clear just how you took it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you have any editing questions or have any suggestions for future videos for this series, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.